All right, we have a cool one to talk about today. This is from Hansen Knives, Tennessee made, obviously. You can see here. Here is a little bit of details about it, but we're going to talk about all of that. So this is Scott Hansen, and this is the Sever model. And this one is for sale, okay? This was sent in from my friend Elias, and it is the last one I have to film of the box of, I don't know, 5-6 knives that he sent in. So I will put the price down below. You know I do that. I force you guys to look at the description. That way, if we change the price, that way when it's sold, I can just mark it as sold down below and all of that. It just makes it easier for me. That's the way I like to do it. So just check the description if you're interested in this. Yeah, this is super cool. Now, Scott is a part-time knife maker, so he doesn't make that many. I don't know if that makes the price go up or the price go down. That's a good question. I think the asking price of this, which is just, it's under $2,000. Okay. It's in the $2,000-ish range. It is under that. So, I think that's reasonable for what this is. Handmade custom. That's got super smooth action. Runs on Teflon washers. So it doesn't drop shut. It's not super fancy clothes, but it's going to stay where you want it. And yeah, give it a little shake and it closes. No problem with that action at all. It's a little bit on the smaller side for me, but it is still pretty cool. 20 CV hand rub satin blade. Let's just zoom in. We'll give you the specs after. How about that? 20 CV hand rub satin. Came out beautiful. Mokutai bolster, Mokutai thumb disc. I kind of prefer thumb studs over thumb discs, but that's okay. Personal thing. Green canvas micarta scale. Again, Mokutai backspacer and pocket clip. And just a titanium frame lock. Okay. Standard affair. Nothing super outrageous, pretty sort of basic-ish materials. The Mokutai is a nice touch. It gives it a little pop, a little color. The green canvas, micarta scales are nice as well. This has been used and carried, and it's got some snail trails, they call them. It's got some wear. You know, nothing out of the norm. Nothing abusive or anything like that. Let's see. I didn't test to see how sharp this was. Oh. No problem. Nice and sharp for you, whoever may or may not buy this. All right. Now, let's get this out of the way and talk about the specs. 4¼ inches closed. 7 5/8 overall with a 3.32 inch blade. 3.2 inch cutting edge. 0.013 behind the edge. Weighs in at 4.2 ounces. Overall thickness is that can't be 0.132 is the blade thickness. I guess I didn't measure the overall thickness as I'm looking at my notes off to the side. So let's just do that real quick. Overall thickness is 0.490. So just about half an inch. Minus the pocket clip. I always measure it without the pocket clip. I don't know much about Scott. I looked, I didn't see him on Instagram, so I'm not really sure about the maker. But the fit and finish on this is very nice. The seam between, you can feel a seam, but that's not unusual. Like, there's not a big gap. There's not a big ledge or anything like that. It feels really nice in the hand. Everything is kind of rounded and smoothed over. The thumb disc works well. With a thumb disc, you need to really kind of push out to the side is really the action. It's mostly out and maybe a little bit forward. It's just not my favorite thing. I prefer a thumb stud where you're really just pushing straight up. And I have it in both, in the Hellraiser actually. That one's a thumb stud. This one is a thumb disc. So I own a thumb disc, obviously. I have one right here. But I prefer, and I do try to stay towards the thumb studs when I can. Just works better for me. I think it's more kind of what I grew up with, if you will. I didn't have a lot of thumb discs. I think this is a cool knife. I think the grind is great. It's super sharp. There's not a lot of branding, if any. I don't even think there's any on the inside. No lightning pockets or anything like that. It's your basic frame lock thumb disc. You know, nothing fancy about it. Nothing over the top. This is a great user. It's got a little bit of pop and a little bit of color. So it's not a basic user. But these materials aren't really exotic necessarily. I mean, they're in that exotic family, I suppose. But I wouldn't worry about carrying and using this. If it was 3.5 inches blade length, it would fit my hand better and my mental state better. And it would just fit my hand. It's a little small for my hands on the opening. It just feels a little bit, not like I'm going to drop it, but just a little small for my tastes. You may be different. Okay, let's give you a couple of size comparisons and then we'll let you go. Here it is with a Sharpie. Excuse me. The Spyderco Delica. And because I pulled out the Hellraisers, let's give you a shot with those too. Here it is with the thumb disc one. The thumb stud version is the same size knife, so, it is what it is. The zirconium bolsters on this thing are polished zirconium, and they pick up the fingerprints and the smudges super easy. And that is one thing I do not like about these Black Death series Hellraisers. I have 3 of them here. I don't like the smudgies that get on it as soon as you use it. So, but other than that, I love the Hellraiser model. You guys know that. I think this is very well done. I would like to see some other ones from Scott. If he's watching, reach out to me. Maybe we can have you on the podcast, live stream, the EDC hour, because I'd love to hear more. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. And again, final price is down below. If you're interested, let me know. Thanks, guys.